is phenomenal. His anticipatory skills are phenomenal.
Yes.
Understanding the tendencies and what routes are coming based on down and distance, alignment, whatever it may be, is phenomenal. There are different skill sets for different players.
Yes.
What makes them comfortable, depending on what you like to do. Deion Sanders, his ability to get in and out of breaks is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He'll play off on purpose, and no matter how you weave him, the thing why he can T-step so well and still be in position to make the play is because that mother... Oh, I almost cursed. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so excited. Hey.
Shannon Sharpe and Asante Samuel just went nuclear on each other. And it's all about Deion Sanders. Samuel straight up claimed he's in the same league as Primetime, with the numbers to back it up. But here's what nobody's talking about. Samuel exposed how the NFL controls who gets to be called a legend. He actually has similar interception stats to Sanders in fewer seasons. This isn't just about two guys arguing. It's about who controls football legacy.
But and it's a funny thing. This is the funny thing about Asante Samuel. Now, this is when it comes down to technique. This is what Asante was so goddamn good at. Asante play inside leverage, right? Asante, you can come at him, and if you weave inside, he gonna weave, but he gonna stay square the whole time.
Right.
He not opening up. He gonna stay square, stay right in front of you the whole time. If you weave outside, he gonna weave right with you.
Yeah. He has great, like you said, he has great anticipation, but you got to double move him. And a lot of things, because he came up in the Coach Belichick system,
yes, sir,
is that what he did is like, no matter what you do, if I got inside leverage, I got inside leverage. If I got...
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You think you know who the best cornerback in NFL history is? Think again. Asante Samuel is out here challenging everything we've been told about the legendary Deion Sanders, and the numbers are telling a story that might make you question everything. Here's the bomb Samuel just dropped. His numbers aren't just close to prime times, they're practically identical, and in some ways even better. This isn't just talk, we're talking hard stats that nobody wants to acknowledge. When Shannon Sharpe heard Samuel comparing himself to Sanders, he immediately shut it down.
Ain't no shot to on the end, brother. Competitive as they come. I talk ish. If it offended you, Coach Gene Chizik taught us how to T-step. Prime commented, crying, say, "Sir, foolish, LOL, God bless you, my brother. Tell them what this is really about, sir. You forever taking a shot at the sky. Mickey Andrews is responsible for teaching us what I teach, and it sure seemed like it worked for us. I love you. I think you're phenomenal. But you're not in time's realm. That's not even close. You're not. Nobody will ever say Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders in the same breath."
You're not in Prime's realm, Sharpe said, claiming nobody would ever put Samuel and Sanders in the same conversation. But wait, what if the numbers tell a completely different story? Let's get specific. Samuel racked up 51 interceptions in just 168 games, while Sanders finished his career with 53 interceptions in 188 games. That's right. Sanders played 20 more games than Samuel and only managed to get 2 more interceptions. When you break it down to production per game, Samuel actually comes out ahead. Isn't it weird how nobody talks about this? And if you think that's surprising, wait until you hear about their playoff performances.
The cover corner, the shutdown corner, the cover one side of the field. When he took the, listen, see, sometimes people like, when I say time locked it down, there was no safety in the hole. So you were fabulous. That's the greatest corner to ever put on pads and a helmet. The cover, the lockdown, where you think this term came from? If you ran the post, go back and look when he picked it on Rocket Ismail. He got him man to man. Yeah. They threw a post with nobody in the hole.
This is where Samuel really shines. He recorded 7 playoff interceptions and turned 4 of them into touchdowns. Sanders, just 3 playoff interceptions and 0 touchdowns, 0. Let that sink in for a minute. When the games mattered most, Samuel was making plays that Sanders never did. But Samuel isn't just comparing stats. he's challenging Sanders on technique too. He brought up something called the T-break technique, which he claims is actually the fastest way to break to the ball. According to Samuel, his approach was more effective than the one Prime Time used. This isn't just about who had better numbers, it's about who was technically the better cornerback.
Yeah, I think I love Prime and what Prime was able to do in the class and the bar that he set.
The beef got even more intense when Samuel directly called out Sharpe, suggesting he's been brainwashed by NFL marketing. Samuel's argument is fascinating. He's saying the league basically decides which players get the legend treatment, regardless of what the stats show. It's almost like he's pulling back the curtain on how the NFL creates its mythology. Samuel didn't stop there. He challenged Sharpe to debate him directly, saying, "I bet you won't debate me big facts." That's a bold move that puts Sharpe in a tough position. If he accepts, he might have to admit there's merit to Samuel's claims. If he refuses, it looks like he's ducking the challenge because he knows the numbers don't support his position. What makes this whole situation so interesting is that it's not just about two former players arguing over who was better. It's exposing something much bigger about how NFL legacies are created. We've been told for years that Deion Sanders is untouchable, the greatest cornerback to ever play the game. But when you actually look at the numbers, that narrative starts to fall apart. The NFL has always been a league that loves its marketing and storytelling. Players who have the right personality, the right nickname, and the right highlight reel often get elevated above players who might actually have better production. Prime Time had the flashy persona, the high-stepping celebrations, and the nickname that became part of NFL lore. Samuel didn't have that same marketing machine behind him. I'm not saying Samuel was definitely better than Sanders, but I am saying the gap between them is nowhere near as wide as we've been led to believe. And that raises a much bigger question. How many other NFL legends might not actually stand up to statistical scrutiny? How many other players have we overlooked because they didn't have the right marketing behind them? And here's where things get real interesting. What Samuel is really exposing goes way beyond just comparing stats with Deion. He's pulling back the curtain on the entire NFL legend-making machine. Samuel straight up says the Hall of Fame doesn't respect players who would dominate in today's game. That's crazy when you think about it. This whole beef makes you wonder, how many other NFL players have we overlooked because they weren't marketed as heavily? The league literally decides who gets the legend label while equally talented players get forgotten. Just imagine how many defensive backs, linebackers, and receivers throughout NFL history might have actually been better than the names we worship. This Sanders-Samuel situation is just the tip of the iceberg. The real question isn't who had better stats. It's whether we can ever truly know who the greatest players were when the NFL's marketing department has their thumb on the scale.